And just to let you know that Crystal Palace have equalised.
A country filled with social, political, and economic problems. A country where discrimination and injustice against the poor is rampant. A country where living conditions for many is unfit for humans. A country large and beautiful, rich in resources, yet many live below the poverty line. A country where the poor has no say, until now, where their plight has been made public through their voices. A voice so powerful, the voice of the people.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CNS Channel 6.
From these sugar workers. Tear gas, tear gas, tear gas.
After a week of industrial action by workers of the Wales Sugar Estate, chaos erupted this morning between the disgruntled sugar workers and the police. A sizable crowd of factory and field workers took to the streets, marching towards Georgetown, when members of the Tactical Services Unit intercepted the crowd and fired tear gas at workers, forcing them to disperse. At the center of the confusion was C.N. Sharma, leader of the Justice for All party, who responded to a call by workers that they were marching from the Wales Sugar Estate. The police acted with force since no permission was given for the march. Mr. Sharma and one of his employees were harassed and accused of being involved in what the police called an illegal procession. The leader of the Justice for All party was the first media personality at the scene, and I sought a brief comment of what went on early this morning.
Well, I received some report from the sugar workers at Wales Estate. They had some protests and strike. So I came down around 8 o'clock this morning and I was talking to them, and the police was trying to harass me, said I started off this protest. I said no, I'm here as a reporter, I'm covering this event. Matter of fact, some of the police officers tried to pull me off my vehicle and harass me and say I'm blocking the road. And there was hundreds of people blocking the road. I wasn't blocking the road, I was covering the event. Eventually, about an hour ago, we see the TSU police come and started fire tear gas in all of my vehicle and shooting tear gas at the sugar workers. And I think this is really injustice done to the sugar workers.
Seconds after this interview, the police, forming a human chain and armed to the teeth, advanced towards the workers, and Mr. Sharma was arrested.
Okay. Well, Mr. Sharma is under arrest here now for illegal possession. What? Yes.
All right, I take it then. All right. Yes. All right.
Harassment by the police.
I take it then. Right, the guy with this, the guy with this, the guy with this. Watch it, man, watch it.
Station.
What you're witnessing on the screen is another arrest being made. This is a sugar worker. He fainted after being harassed by members of the police force. On Monday, the 6th of October, sugar workers at Wales down tools, calling for the removal of a new chute installed to feed bagasse into a boiler of the factory. This new system is restricting the factory's output of sugar, thus depriving workers of benefits and day's pay, which they rightfully earned.
And you have to release that man. There's a cane quarter. There's a cane quarter. We are asking for a quarter. What are you doing, cane quarter? We are asking for you violate the cane quarter, man. People are walking out. Are you shooting me? Kill them. Please now. Hello, don't pass. Don't pass here. Get back that way. Get back.
This crop promised about 22 days' pay for workers with the old system, but after the boiler developed mechanical trouble and the new system was implemented, there is fear that the day's pay will be phased out. It has been 9 weeks and only 2 days' pay were earned so far, when it should have been almost 10. After continued plea for the estate's management to meet with the workers and the obvious refusal, the employees took their own action to have the problems resolved.
Come on. Advantage. For your right. But no, God bless no man course.
Now the workers are making a number of demands which the union is unable at this moment to meet. Management has not come and said anything to the workers, so they've decided today to take strike action and march towards Georgetown. But as they approached the Nimes area, the police intercepted and confusion broke out. Last Thursday, the Gao union met with the estate's management and was advised that the problem can only be addressed if workers resume work. But the workers refused. Why? Maybe this will explain.
What is a loser? I don't have nothing in this bargain, nothing. I can't send me to school from tomorrow morning because I'm going to get paper passage. But he go get money salary from Gao. And Gao collect $128 every single week when I be, whether I only work 1 day for the week.
I just said that the union is a sellout. Let me
sell out!
Why you say that?
Gao sell out and I fight for interest. 10 days every day now. And come out and come here. What you call that? You call it buyout? You call it sell out opener?
Even the workers are saying that they're not going to go back to work until management or somebody from the union come and talk to them specifically. Because they're saying that in past, when they return to work, they always get sharp. They don't get what they really want. So they're saying they're not prepared to go to work until somebody talk to them.
Meanwhile, Gao in a press statement said that since the strike started, the union at the central level has been unable to get Gai Suku to meet and discuss the grievance, unless, as Gai Suku asserted, that the workers return to work so that discussions between the union and the corporation can take place free from duress. The statement added that the union has been working towards a resumption of work, but it seems that there are elements working to keep the strike alive and agitate the workers to engage in extra industrial action. Today's events involving the police left some 13 workers in custody and many angry at their actions. The factory in the meantime was forced to shut down all operations. Millions of losses will be incurred as a result of the unfolding events, but the workers remain resolute to their cause. Meanwhile, in a police press release, it is stated 13 persons, including Mr. Sian Sharma, are in police custody following an illegal march which commenced from Wales Public Road at about 9:30 this morning. The 13 were part of a crowd of over 250 Wales estate workers who decided to march to Georgetown to air their grievances, in the process disregarding
Justice for all on TV channel 12. Pay the call. Justice for all on TV channel 12. Pay the call. A program for everyone, big or small. Programs that is very hard to follow. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty, courage and stamina. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty, courage and stamina. Justice for all on TV channel 12. They call. Yeah, justice for all on TV channel 12. Here they call. A program for everyone, big or small. A program that is very hard to follow. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, the man of honesty, courage and stamina. Yeah. sparked by Mr. Sharma's vision.
Yes.
The voice of the people.
Yes.
Voice of the voiceless. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Today is Saturday,
Yeah.
the 19th
Yeah.
day of January 2019. And on the agenda today, we have love and unity among people, noise nuisance, rum shop, rice, sugar industry, crime, the destitute, and we have a problem there with outside the post office,
Yes,
general
yes,
post
yes.
office. A lot of people sleeping on the pavement there. And cost of living, and vandalism of property, water rates, dual citizenship.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
become a
that's
big
right.
issue now, but
Yeah,
that is
very-
mostly in terms of sitting in parliament. And the laws, there's no law against people holding dual citizenship.
Yes.
But in terms of being a parliamentarian, right, they'll have to look at it. They can adjust the laws, because as I said,
What the law was not there before? The law was not there before?
Probably it was not being enforced.
Why is not there? Someone lies in his party?
No, nobody paid attention.
Nobody paid attention?
Yeah. And maybe they don't need to pay attention to it. I don't know.
Okay.
But they can adjust
Something
it.
wrong, something different wrong, something
No,
wrong.
they can adjust it because the case of the Minister of Business, Dominic Gaskin, I think they said he was born in England. So he has no problem because he didn't swear to anybody.
He didn't swear nothing.
Yeah, so he became a naturalized Guyanese.
Yes.
So the problem lies with people born in Guyana who went overseas, got things, and then came back. They should have a time, say, after 10 years, man, you could go into parliament. Simple as that. You know, it's all this big hullabaloo about things, you know.
Rossi, opening remark.
Well, my opening remark is that
yeah.
yesterday evening I went to the launch of a new and United Guyana, Anug. Very interesting event at Morey House. But, CN, my brethren, it's like same old. You're seeing the same old suspects, nothing new. And my particular worry is that this particular new political party doesn't really have a base in the ghetto on the ground with the rural poor, the urban poor. There's a kind of disconnect. It seems as if it's an upper middle class construct, and they're trying to ride a bandwagon to the polls. And I personally feel that the wheels are going to fall off of their vehicle because they're not really constructed properly. You understand? That's my belief. And then the other thing I asked them, why this big opportunistic platform about marijuana when for the last 3.5 years I wasn't seeing any of them making any attempt to advocate on behalf of that. Now,
But in Canada, legalize in Canada.
Canada fully legal.
Okay.
Yeah. So my take on this is this. There'll be a lot of small parties, including Liberty and Justice Party with Schumann and them. They ain't gonna make no inroad, This is a straight fight between two Leviathans.
Party?
Well, you're part of a coalition. You're part of a ruling coalition, brethren.
That's right.
And don't move.
Okay.
Because you're already in power. Don't move. Hold the fort. Hold the line. Because this government remaining in power is the only structure that the people trust right now. Despite all the propaganda about the PPPC, man, their presidential candidate is Ali. They get beat bad because Ali ain't got no integrity. He got no credibility, and he'll stand a better chance. But I think overall, Guyanese and the wider public know that right now we just got to strengthen the coalition, broaden the coalition, put some fresh blood, some fresh spirit into it. But the coalition stands firm.
Yes, and I believe that those guys are trying to fill the void left by the AFC because the AFC lost quite a lot of votes. So they're trying to defeat the coalition government.
We don't accept no calling, no problem, right?
Yeah, but Sian, there's a key to this election that people are missing. The youth comprise the bulk of the electorate, and they're not really. I only noticed Minister Brooms the other day did try something with the entertainment people, giving she joined together for the housing and so on. But what I'm saying is that the central issue is the oil and gas. And that modular refinery is very important to Guyana. It will bring down the cost of living. We get cheap fuel for business, for private people, and employment at Linden. There will be employment.
Oh, don't vote race,
Yeah,
vote
that's
for
right, yeah.
change. And that's
Manifesto,
the position of Justice for All
manifesto say
Party.
that, yeah,
This is your manifesto.
manifesto.
And you got 20 points here.
Yeah, 20 points, that's
The
right.
poor and working class, you've really
yeah, okay.
been emphasizing on the poor and
Okay,
working
good,
class,
all
and
right.
that's your strength.
Yes.
You defend the poor and the working
Okay.
class. The rest of them are upper class, elitist constructs. Then you touch on the business sector. You've touched on free trade. It is important for Guyana and the rest of the world to trade freely and exchange production technology.
That we stand for. That we stand for.
Yeah, modular refinery stuff. Tourism. The tourism sector has to be given a boost. This could become a major source of income. Yeah, they got something called ganja tourism now too, you know.
I will travel later.
Foreign investors.
Yes.
Foreign investors. There should be clear guidelines and tax holidays for foreign and local investors, most importantly.
Yeah.
Foreign investors remain disappointed with Guyana's investment climate. We've got to do a lot more, even though a lot has been done because they're 25% tax something. It has come down from 30 something percent. So we've been trying to ease the tax. Agriculture, brethren, this is the foundation stone of our country's economy. Agriculture, more importance has to be given to this sector. Guyana needs a vibrant agriculture industry which caters not only for the local market but also to the export market. Hey, talking about that, I went to Pomeroon on the weekend gone.
Yes.
The people in Pomeroon are crying out for drainage and irrigation and markets.
We're going to visit. We're going to visit. We're going to visit.
Pomeroon is a food basket.
We're going to visit that.
Yeah, Pomeroon. Education, to guarantee every Guyanese free education from nursery to university. Boredom, they had the kind of money these people have, and Boredom had free education from nursery to university. I enjoyed that. That's why I got to where I got, because of free education. Health, to provide adequate health care for each and every Guyanese. Example, erase the stigma and discrimination against HIV positive people. That has to be put an end. In fact, the health sector has got to be boosted.
The Georgetown Hospital, I can speak about
that. Now you talk about to end all ethnic problems in the society. And this is 15 years ago, you could put this together.
That's right.
Justice for All Party believes in the harmony of all races and will work toward eliminating racism at all levels. Keep working at it.
Thanks, good.
Personally, you're the only leader who has credibility on that platform.
Okay.
You understand? You're the man who's touching all the races easily. Highly. Culture. In a country with plural heritage, the Justice for All Party will ensure the pursuit and preservation of all indigenous cultures, all to create a more harmonious society. Very, very, very irie. I like that, because we got to live as one. With one love, brethren. Amerindians, particular focus must be placed on the Amerindian population, which for too long has been exploited and in some areas neglected. Amerindians must also be given permanent titles to land. And that's why I think Liberty and Justice Party would let Schumann ain't gonna do nothing much for them Amerindians, you know. He ain't got enough time on the ground. Schumann come from Canada. He's a good guy. But he got to stick around long enough on the ground to feel the vibe and know that he can become a leader. Probably in 5-10 years' time, Schumann will make a mark. But not now. He's too fresh. Pensioners, the unfair treatment of pensioners must be addressed.
Like this man.
Yeah. Me, I'm gonna be 65 this year. I have a pension.
It's rough for them.
Well, the $20,000 ain't bad, but it could be at least double. But we gonna double it. We gonna double it next go round. The issuing of firearms. Firearms should be issued to farmers and important businessmen in our community. Villages with over 1,000 persons to have shotguns, and villages who are recommended to be provided the same to protect village against criminal elements, especially those border villages, brethren. They have to protect themselves against the sindicatos and any incursions by the Venezuelans on a military escapade. So we have to arm our village communities on the border. You know, we got to create enclaves of protection for them. Street children. These children have definitely been neglected and are in dire need of attention. Street children are most important platform, brethren. Street children are being neglected in Guyana. In fact, they got them working hard. A lot of children are working and they ought not to be working.
And they should be at school.
At schools, Women. I see all the parties, farmer, they're putting women in front. Like if women are important.
Look at the U.S., what's happening now.
Women will continue to be given the importance that for too long has been denied them. They will play an important role in the Justice for All Party. Anytime you bring in some strong women in this party, this party needs some women. But they're supporting you. But they need to come to front. Right to food. All basic food items to be duty-free. All basic food items that are being imported.
That's right, imported, that's right.
Yeah, to be duty-free. Well, we're going to work around it and see how we can put some mojo to that. tax. The Justice for All party intends to restructure the tax system.
Yes.
Most important.
It's
all about taxes.
Reduce
taxes, and incentivize the economy.
that's right.
And use the revenue for greater development of communities. Housing. Low-cost housing will be provided to meet the demands of the Guyanese society. Land at reasonable cost will be made available. The people on Front Road still need to be moved. The people in Sophia still need to be moved. The people at Lombard and Broad Street still need to be moved. We still got a lot of work to do in the housing sector. And maybe we can import Orphan Ali over to our side because he seems to know a lot about housing. Housing. Yeah. He can jump over, come over. We can make some room for him. He and his girths.
How we can jump?
Well, well, the fact that the High Court has said, hold on with them charges, Orphan, gives him a chance to fly a little bit. You know, but to institute new laws and recommend where necessary legislature to ensure the rights of all Guyanese are protected. The rights of all Guyanese. Equal rights and justice for all. That's your mantra.
That's right.
Equal rights and justice for all. And then number 20, housing. Persons born in Guyana and in possession of a Guyanese birth certificate are entitled to a house lot. Not just a house lot. You can't grow food in a house lot. House lot and 5 acres of farmland.
Yeah, we make that soon.
Yes, a house lot and 40 acres of a mule. Yeah, we got enough land.
With oil coming in. They can build the houses for the people, for the poor, for the poor.
Prefab, remember Blanco, we used to build some prefab houses and even export to the Caribbean? We can build prefab houses and set up all over the country.
This is just around part stand for.
Man, you've got a real credible manifesto. It has stood up the test of time. This 15 years ago.
So he was very visionary then.
That's right. 15 years ago.
And you know what? These have got to come to pass, and that's why CN Sharma and Justice for All Party is a foundation, a bedstone of the coalition. This coalition would fall apart if you leave it. You got to keep this coalition together. CN, they won't tell you that. You're the senior statesman, the elder statesman of this coalition. And they should give you the respect due.
That is right.
Without accepting no calls, right?
No.
No unknown call. No.
Voice of the people?
This one has a
Voice
number.
of people.
This one has a number.
Let me check you out.
The top one.
Hello?
Top.
Hello? Yes?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Sham.
Good afternoon. Yes.
What is up in the respect of the Caribbean people region too?
We got to look after the rice people soon.
And we got a little problem on Cambridge, man. I see some.
What the problem got there?
I've got some people who live on the reserve, building house and them things and stuff on the reserve, and they got left.
Yes.
They're building houses.
And
on the reserve.
They got them water and things and so. And
how can they get that?
That is Fort Field.
Okay. How come they get the water in Conrad?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't believe that.
They're building houses on the reserve?
Yes.
This is what area?
Yenville, Fort Field.
Oh, Fort Field, yeah.
Fort
Field, yes.
Fort Field?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Call again. Hello?
Hello, good morning. Mr. Sharma, thank you.
Yes.
I have seen your program for a long time, and I admire you.
Okay.
Now, first of all, right?
Yes.
I know you're Abraham Hinn child.
Yeah.
Your father was a priest, Pandit.
Yes.
And so far, I just feel on your program, you're doing Abraham Hinn.
We try our best to do something good for the people. We try our best to do something good for the people.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
And your party should be put in front.
Yeah.
Because you're a nation.
Yeah.
And your son, I hope that he follow your footsteps and he go forward with his political career.
Okay.
And in the future, he will be able to be the president of this country.
Yes. Why you say that?
Well, by prayers.
Okay.
I believe I'm a pandit too, and I see you every day.
You're pandit from where? Which pandit?
I live in Providence,
oh,
right
Providence,
behind the stadium.
Yes, I know you. Yes.
Like that?
Yeah, that. Yes, I know you. I recognize your voice.
Yes.
Yes.
I try a lot to get on, but I can't get on.
Okay.
And I hope that you do the good work that you do. Karma has a lot to
Yeah,
do.
karma. Karma is import. Karma. Yeah.
And only the people that you put here on the program.
Yes.
You are one of the highest in your quality because you have profound background and good quality from your father.
Yes.
You see? So that's all I have to tell you now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else? Anything else?
If you want to call me, you can call me on this number.
Okay, good.
795451.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye.
Yes.
79.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The people are here share their different views, you know? Different views of the people.
Yes.
It's a calling program. Voice of the people.
Voice of the people.
Voice of the voiceless.
That's right.
Yeah. Cardi, hello? Hello?
Morning, Mr. Sharma.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, yes.
Is Jay Saul someone today?
Yes.
What
Hello?
about, the guy that he had this stiff mess with last week?
Yes.
I noticed you edit the program.
Yes. Which program?
The Tuesday program.
Yes, I had it edited. I can't continue that all the time.
Well, you don't want to see the people, the arrogance of Jaipal?
Oh, no. He wasn't arrogant. He wasn't arrogant. He's speaking the truth. Yes.
He was arrogant to Mr. Durga.
Yeah. He's not arrogant to Durga. Durga talk for himself.
No.
Yes.
Like you ban Mr. Durga.
I don't ban anybody for the program. Yeah. Thank you very much, right?
Okay.
Okay, bye. I don't ban Durga for the program.
Just give him time out.
Time out. Got time. Yes.
No, but as I said, Durga...
So I can let me talk about the hospital. You go and say you got out of private hospital.
Yeah.
Joshua Hospital. Tell me what you come.
Okay,
From the beginning.
I would like to start from
the beginning.
From the beginning, the accident ward is very crowded.
Yes.
And it's like a war scene. People coming in with so many things wrong with them. In fact, the first night I was there, they brought in a woman with a swollen belly. Next thing, the woman died. They just put her in a plastic bag and dumped her.
What? And you saw it?
You
saw it your night?
I saw it because the two attendants came and put her in this plastic bag.
And zip up?
And take her away in a plastic bag. So you've seen people drop it, some people dying.
And you saw that yourself?
Yes, she was just opposite me.
Okay, go ahead.
But besides that, they didn't have enough room for me to go into surgery because so eventually I went. And then I had this problem. I fell off the bed a couple of times because second time I was trying to reach my cell phone. And the supervisor there came and tied me to the bed.
What?
Like if I was a delinquent. You know what I'm saying?
This torture, brethren.
So I had to make a lot of noise. Like if I can't even move. Yeah. So that is significant. They have full authority to do what they like with patients who go into the hospital. The most appalling thing too, though, is that when you go to the clinic and they tell you come back 7 o'clock in a day, they tell everybody the same time. They don't stagger the hours. And people are there for 5-6 hours trying to get attention. It's after you come out of the hospital, now you have another wait. You're still a sick person, and you have to sit down there on those benches and wait for 5-6 hours before you're taken care of. And also, the nurses are there, but the people who have the files and so on, that staff is not there until 8 o'clock. So there's a lot of delays. They need to have a different system in place. A better management system needs to be in place.
At the Cherry Jagan Dental Center, I went there for some treatment to get a tooth out. They got a good service happening on Carmichael Street there, Cherry Jagan Dental Center. If you're a senior, over 65, I'm telling you, free. Everything is free. They got your tooth, clean your teeth, everything. And if you're not that old, you pay $100 to take a tooth out,
That's good.
or $400 to clean your mouth.
That's good, that's good.
That's very good. People come from foreign dental tourism and come to Guyana for get a teeth taken
That
out.
is true.
Because in the foreign it's expensive.
Yeah, people come together to do it.
So I can right away say that the Cherry Jaguar Dental Clinic is doing a magnificent job.
Is there a
Very
long line?
professional.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people, but they move them all like foreign style.
Okay.
Cherry Jaguar Dental Center,
Okay.
crisp.
Okay.
Can be called upon to deliver your tooth.
But in hospital, Georgia Hospital needs to improve the management system. They need to improve the management system, you know. They need to monitor how the nurses treat the patients too. You know, sometimes they can be very rough with patients, even though they know the patients are helpless and they you know, some of them can be very rough, others are very nice.
That's what you encounter.
I was there for 17 days.
What? 17 days?
17 days. So I know what's happening. I can write a book. I can give I can do some consultancy for the Georgia Public Hospital.
What are you going to do?
I'm a management consultant.
Okay.
I can give them some advice.
Yes.
What's the main advice you'll give them?
Yeah.
No.
Somebody advice.
No. I will show them how to cut back the time where people have to wait so long. That's the first thing. Then they need to have training for the nurses to make sure they treat everybody with respect. Not all of them. Some nurses are okay, others are.
I thought they were doing that all the time.
No.
You're not training?
They train them in the medical work, but not in showing respect to people.
Okay. Yeah, must show respect and yes. Next.
On your marks,
get
set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the emergency situation is there's not much they can do there. They have to decentralize the system so that not everybody comes to the Georgia Hospital for these emergencies or for treatment or different things. They have to build up the regional hospital.
Call you on the air, please. Go ahead, please. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon.
Chairman.
Yes.
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
the panel.
On one thing, right? You can't continue the program time. Go ahead now, please. Hello?
But
Yeah.
I want to ask what's there for everybody's mind. You
Yeah.
know, confidence.
What do you the people in the mind? Yes.
The judge will rule at the end of this month, right? I want the APNU or the CTC, whatever the judge rule, let me got the election. Stop this whole thing to CCJ and prolong this thing too long. I remember that you said the other day on the press conference, why not all the public servants that anything and do in the 3 months they can get jailed for?
Yes, sir, yes.
I saying they are no confidence in the press conference they are saying.
Yeah.
So this whole 3 months we go there, like we don't know what we do in next people like can work comfortable.
Okay.
So we need to go the election early as possible.
What do you recommend? What do you recommend?
What me recommend?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
I recommend let me go the election before the 19th of March. What we waiting for?
Okay.
What are you prolonging it for?
Okay.
To confuse everybody in this country. Not anybody to road and say when election. What we doing?
Okay.
GCOM determines that.
You know the thing is up in the road. People is asking you. You got to talk this thing up.
Minister Harmon explained that GCOM is the person who determines when.
Minister Harmon, the whole AFC, all them lying to the people.
Okay.
Last week Tuesday,
Yes.
Mr. Sharma company TV lied to the people.
Yeah.
Make them two big man to haul up in the car. Make that big man is that yes man.
Yeah.
The man have to haul up in the car. It was little by the second.
Okay.
He embarrassing the big Sharma coming from the TV and lying to the national.
Oh.
Oh my God, look, Mr. Green come. Oh my God, what got me here out today? All life in the TV again.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We love you, Skipper.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, GCOM is the person
Call
who
you.
determines the
Yeah,
election.
please. Hello.
You know, they got the
Hello?
readiness for election.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Chairman, everybody.
Yes.
The government news,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
government
Yes.
need to resign
Yes.
and I'm going right to let you election.
Yes.
Because this government not do nothing,
yes.
it's just wasting of time. I call it and bump on the church of the guard road.
So
And this government not do nothing, nothing at all. They need to resign
Yes.
and let them go to the pool and let new government rule.
Okay, good.
Just wasting time, just wasting time.
Yes. Okay. That's all? Call it. Hello? 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 Hello, call you. Hello? Mr. Green, welcome to the program, the Vice People.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Minister, thank you very much for being at the program.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah. The other caller said, what Jaipur was saying, what the caller said just now, a couple of seconds ago.
I didn't follow.
What did the caller say just now?
Well, he was trying to say that Jaipal misrepresented a certain position last Tuesday, and here Jaipal he can clarify his position because, of course, he's government, and he has a right to defend his government.
Okay.
So it's up to them.
Jaipal would like to see their last say to choose their program.
Well, CN, I came in the Tuesday program to spend a few minutes.
Yes.
I don't know. I asked you to show back the program to its full entirety so people could be the judge.
Yes.
Because, Dr. Durga and Rahman personally attacked me in the program.
Yeah.
They came at a position that they was at Saturday at a symposium, a workshop for young people.
Yes, young people.
I keep saying to them, tell me what was the purpose of this symposium or workshop. They say, it was they were invited. I said, you were invited? Who was invited? The young people was invited. The leader of the opposition, Dr. Barajaglio, at his press conference, is saying that this government had a workshop to brainwash the young people. Now we had 2 men over 60 went to a young people symposium or workshop, and they come in here after the workshop to lambast the government. So the program was not meant for them. I was asking why they was there in the first place.
Okay.
Right? I said they couldn't answer me that simple question. I said to them, if they're investors that have interest in oil and gas, well then go to the relevant government agency and ask them to address your concern. You can't go to a program meant for young people and dominate the program. There is a program right now, a next program at Cliff Anderson presently for the young people. And I hope they're not there again causing mischief.
Okay.
And then come on your program.
Okay.
To cause more mischief.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So I will happy if you air the program.
Yes. I will. Somewhere this week. Call you. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon. Yes.
And the panel.
Yes.
Mr. Jaipal.
Yeah.
You mentioned about older ones going to mentor young people. I mean, as an older person, I'm sure I can give much mentoring to young people. One of the reasons being, I've been through it all. From the 60s on, I've been through it all, politically and everything.
Yes.
And so you must not exclude old people from mentoring young ones. Because young ones can can benefit a lot from older ones.
Yes.
The other thing, really what I call about, is to speak to Leon concerning the hemp.
Okay.
You know, I had to buy some hemp for medicinal use.
Yes.
Nutritional use.
Yes.
And it came from outside. The hemp came from outside.
Yes.
Hemp seeds.
Yes.
Right? So why can't we grow these things as Leon, keep emphasizing? Why can't we grow these things here?
Okay.
Basically, that's all I want to say for now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Before, you can't allow callers to make statements and then you don't respond to them. The caller again is misleading the viewers and listening public. I did not say anything about elder people. I have respect for elder people. The program was meant to educate the youth population of the country. If the program had invited Rahman and Dr. Durga to teach the people, that was different. But they didn't ask anybody to go and teach them. This is Department of Energy.
Okay.
Say, I want to speak to the young people of this country.
Okay.
We want to make them oil-minded. Nobody opportunity and oil, not to people who have political ambition and want to get into business to go to that seminar. Okay, so they came in the program and they're speaking about somehow the government preventing them from getting involved in a setting up an oil refinery. I said, you want the oil refinery, go to the relevant authority. There's go invest, go to the Department of Energy, deal with them. You're a private sector. This program the government has set up is to educate our youths.
Yeah.
Not for you to go and poison their minds, like the K-1 program, poison their mind. So he is speaking, he wants a small vessel to go to the rig, which is 120 miles from the shore, to set a little vessel there to collect some oil.
Yeah.
I said that rig, that FPSO, it will be offloaded their oil, their crude, to a super tanker. They don't understand how it is cost effective for a super tanker to collect the oil than a small vessel. Now, you could, if you have any understanding what is the condition out there, a small vessel could rupture that operation up there. So the risk is increased.
How you know they got rupture? How you know that?
The risk is increased by 10-fold, maybe 20-fold, maybe 100-fold, if you allow a smaller vessel to dock there to take the oil. So he wants to know how it is so cost effective for the Americans or whoever going to take the oil, process it, and bring it back here.
Yeah. Basically,
a little child could tell you, in volume, you benefit, economy of scale.
Oh, okay.
But apparently, this Dr. Dorga don't understand that.
Forget about Dr. Dorga. But I'm looking now. I'm thinking about sharing your view on this program, right, Judy? Yeah.
About the oil?
About the oil.
I think the government ought to be commended
Yes.
for attempting to sensitize the new generation about something which is complex, new, and in terms of our culture, something that is challenging.
Okay.
In those circumstances, I think it would be highly irresponsible if a government does not brief interested young people as to the nuances, the challenges, the difficulties, and the opportunities. That is the responsibility of any government. On the other question of old people, traditionally, education, edification has been premised on people passing on the accumulated knowledge, wisdom, and experience from one generation to the next. That is how we learn to speak. So there are two different elements: briefing young people on a specific item, and secondly, sharing with young people your own experiences. A generation that fails to garner the wisdom of an earlier generation, they're lost. In the same way, if you go to church and everybody there has bald head, gray hair, that's a dying church.
Yeah.
I've said so before. So you need to have an admixture of young people, current leaders, and our elders. That is the only way to cement and to ensure the integrity of a society. The other caller was very abusive, and I'd rather not respond to him. But there has been a lot of confusion about this Charam Das matter.
Yes.
I believe the Kaitonu published a letter I wrote.
Okay.
The matter is extremely simple. It is not to
It's simple. It's simple.
It is simple. It's not to argue whether the man was justified or not. People commit murder and attempt to justify it.
Okay.
People steal and attempt to justify it. The fact is, any person who betrays the group to which he belongs is a traitor.
Okay.
Very simple.
Okay.
And the world is full of examples. Brutus betrayed Caesar. Because the day before, he didn't indicate that he was against Caesar's doings.
Okay.
The Rosenbergs betrayed the American government. Vidner Quisling, the Norwegian man, betrayed the Allies, and he was executed in October of 1945. And the most famous of traitors, of course, is Judas, who kissed Jesus.
Okay.
And I made a point. It is different to people like Martin Luther King Jr., Mandela. Those men said, look, this is wrong. I am going to oppose it. They don't go and stab the people in the back. They say, look, this is wrong. Those are my heroes. And people are getting confused about this matter. Charam Das is very plain and simple traitor.
Okay.
I don't care how you put it.
Okay.
The week before,
yeah,
he spoke in favor of the government.
Yeah.
And there's no semantics and sophistication about it.
What do you think about dual citizenship?
Dual
citizenship, yeah, dual citizenship.
That is a troublesome matter.
Why is it troublesome? What do you mean by that?
I have always felt
Yeah.
that you really can't serve two masters.
Okay.
When I was in government,
Yeah.
this matter never came up because Burnham didn't stand any nonsense.
Okay.
And people had to make it abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Both sides of the political divide seem to be very soft on this matter. And that, I think, is very unfortunate. I think what has happened on the 21st of December is an opportunity for us to set things right. I don't care what the court rules. You cannot serve two masters.
Okay.
You can't swear allegiance to A and to B.
Well, you did that right. You did that right. You did it.
But they were pointing out that
hold on, he's making a point. He did it when
you vote swearing. You're born on time.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Did what?
Yeah, it's swearing. It is swearing.
I never swore allegiance to any other government.
Okay.
I was born in Guyana.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was educated in Guyana.
No. But here's it. The guys, they mentioned that Dominic Gaskin was born in England. He didn't have to swear anything. So when he came here, he became naturalized Guyanese. So he didn't swear to anybody. So
And he gave up
it's
his...
a different kind of dual citizenship.
And he gave up his citizenship.
That dual citizenship, he didn't swear.
You see, you're
You're
misinterpreting
Irish.
the Constitution. And I hate when people misinterpret the Constitution. Whichever side they belong to. So let's go to the line. The caller must call and ask the question, and I will engage the caller. But if you want to use...
I don't wait about dual citizenship.
I spoke a lot on that, and so you have now a misinterpretation in the Constitution saying that if the person is born, there's not dual citizenship because they're born.
Yeah.
You are a born Guyanese.
Yeah.
And you're given a passport.
Yeah.
Your passport is for life?
Yeah.
Answer me the question. Do your passport last
No,
until you
passport
die?
for life.
How long it lasts?
I don't know how long it lasts.
5 years.
Right. Whatever it is, the day you renew the passport, you pledge an allegiance.
Again.
Okay? Again. So, understand. The Constitution is clear. It says if you owe allegiance by your own will, your own free will, your act, if you're obligated, the Constitution use words not because they want to use similarity of language. There's a reason why they use obedience, adherence, and allegiance, because they have different meanings. And the Constitution say when there's questions in relation to a person's eligibility, well then the court have exclusive jurisdiction. Now the Constitution for the state, if you sit in the assembly, I think it's Article 58 of the Constitution states if you sit in the National Assembly, knowingly that you are not qualified to sit in the National Assembly, there's a penalty attached. Remember, this article of the Constitution, I don't believe it was revised. You know what's the penalty for sitting, knowing that you're supposed to sit? It's 50,000 for every day you sit. Okay. Now, this is 50,000, I don't know how many years back. But say it's 50,000. The Attorney General, the Constitution says the Attorney General shall take civil action against such person to recover the money. Now, say it's 50,000, they didn't revise it because they never thought it being important. So it's 50,000. That means Chandas owed the state 5.5 million Guyana dollars. So we could take action.
How come you owe the state?
Because he's not qualified to sit there. You see, look, when I decided to be a politician, I accepted to be on the list. I swore, I make a statutory declaration that I allow my name to be added to the list of candidates, and also make a declaration say, I know of no reason why I shall be disqualified. Now you're disqualified in the Constitution in relation to that. The article is 155. So if you get involved in politics, you must know what 155 say. Now if you make a false claim, the Statutory Declaration Act 5 of 2009, Chapter 5 of 2000, Chapter 509, sorry, Chapter 509 states that you're liable to 1 year imprisonment. But it didn't state the 1 year imprisonment in the form.
Okay.
You have to sign a form
Okay.
that you submit to GCOM.
Okay.
The form is Form 3. So the Statutory Declaration Act, Chapter 509, okay, clearly state in Section 4 that if you knowingly do so, you shall be liable to spend a year in imprisonment.
Okay.
So we take an oath there.
Yeah.
I took an oath when the president appointed me a minister to uphold the constitution in this country without fear or favor, affection or ill will. Then when I was appointed a member of parliament, that's after I took the oath as a minister, I take the next oath in the assembly. Right? Every time you take the oath, it was based on the first declaration. Every time you took the oath, it was based on the first declaration you submitted to GCOM.
Mr. Green, so your wisdom, where you have wisdom.
Well, Jai
wisdom.
Paul is
Yeah,
right,
yes.
and out of evil cometh good.
Okay.
It's a good thing this matter surfaced.
Yeah,
It has been swept on the carpet for too long.
Yeah, too long, that's right, yes.
And both sides must plead guilty.
Okay.
I don't think it's a matter that either the political parties can claim that they weren't involved, they weren't culpable,
Okay.
and for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. It's a psyche that developed as a result of our relationship with the West,
Okay.
where people and families grow accustomed to interfacing, intercourse between New York, London, Guyana, Trinidad, Canada, what have you. It became part of a family culture almost.
Okay.
So it went to the level where it ought to have been arrested, and it was not. And to repeat myself, we have to correct it.
Okay.
Can't serve two masters.
Okay. What about the dualship?
The dual citizenship?
Yeah, dual citizenship.
A man can retain dual citizenship providing he's not asked to serve at a certain level.
Okay.
I believe it is quite different to an ordinary citizen called Leon Saul. I'm now an ordinary citizen,
Yeah.
Hamilton Green,
Yeah.
Jai Paul, C.N. Sharma, the man in the street. It presents no problem because he hasn't got a function
Okay, okay.
in a
okay.
position officially or otherwise,
Okay, okay.
where he has to interpret the Constitution,
Okay.
he has to do things that affect directly the day-to-day working of the society and the community to which he belongs. A completely different scenario.
Minister, yes, your view.
Well, it's my view, it's the same view that
Okay.
expressed by the former Prime Minister of this country,
Yeah.
Honorable Hamilton Green.
Yeah.
We share the same views, and it's the level at which you serve. And you cannot serve at the ministerial level. You cannot serve at the level of the National Assembly if these are the issues, if you breach 155, Article 155 of the Constitution. It is clear as daylight.
But they see that don't know that. They don't know that.
The former Prime Minister even addressed that.
I
It was observed in the breach because both sides
Yeah.
are all the politicians,
Yeah.
even this new political party,
Yeah.
which have a former Speaker of the National Assembly.
Yeah.
When one of the founding members resigned and accused them of having dual nationality,
Okay.
you know what they said? We're going to bite the Constitution, but we're going to change it afterwards.
Okay.
Right?
Schumann
Yeah.
said he gave up.
Yes, Schumann said.
No.
has
They can wait for the
has
time
he done
when
so?
they might anticipate they don't win anything. So when they do win something, then they can.
Okay.
So
give up
everyone
the
wanted to
citizenship.
change the Constitution, but it was clear the reason why you have to have a Guyanese and the allegiance must only be to Guyana. I take in the biblical perspective. The former Prime Minister Hamilton Green took it, but he never put it in the perspective as pointing where is the source. Is Jesus said that? Jesus said when he hold up the kind, when he could serve one master.
You read the Bible, what? You know about the Bible?
Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
God, good. Yeah.
Render unto Jah
Hello?
life.
Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Jaipal.
Yes.
Would you mind see I can get on to Van der Straat, Dr. Van der Straat? Because They make it publicly for the television and they serve a pamphlet. The water rate will raise on the 4th of October.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, the 4th of October, the new water rate will start. Now they might tell people again meet up and say April and August. That's fine. I said it 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 40,000 dollars. The people like come on the TV and say this thing back again, this thing wrong.
Basically, because some of that, what you call it just now.
What you
But
say?
the water. Bill increase, the price increase in the water.
I'm not aware of it, and I don't know the public statement has been made.
Okay.
I'm not aware of it. If there's been an increase, it ought to be explained why and what are the circumstances. I don't know that there's an increase.
Calling in the hello?
Hi, yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to ask Jaipal.
Yes.
Minister.
Yeah.
In 2014, when there was a no confidence motion, 33 seats were accepted against 32. Now, if the government defense is about dual citizenship, and if it's wrong, and if the court determines it's wrong, it is alleged that there are other ministers.
It's alleged, yes.
So would their votes be valid also for your confidence motion? Thank you.
Mr. Secretary, can you answer that, please?
I think the question was posed to me.
Yes.
And it all depends. Someone have to challenge those persons. We challenging him, Sharon Das, the former member of parliament.
Yes.
So some citizen could come and say, oh, these are the individuals that are in question. Okay? And so then when you now extract all of them who should not have been voting, then you come to a number.
Okay.
If that number is against the motion, meaning our favor, it means we stay.
Okay.
If it's favor of the opposition, we go this and we head to election. However, there is hierarchy in the judicial system, and so not because you fail at that level, you cannot appeal it until the final stage. There is a saying in law. They say justice should not be denied to no one.
Yeah.
And meaning this is a government and we say we want justice. There's a saying to say when the law ends, tyranny begins. And what we're saying is that the law must prevail. We go into court. Let the court speak.
Okay. Call you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm talking to the minister.
Yes.
White Farm, right on Copeland Garden, has no water.
Okay.
No road, anything you have to pay for.
Where? What area?
Farm and Copeland Garden.
Okay. We can.
That's
And
East Bank?
$5,000 for a barrel of water. And it depends on the rain.
How long you were without water and road?
Since you going there,
How
over
long?
here now.
How long?
Since the garden here.
Over here.
No, there's a new community started there?
Farm the new scheme at the back of.
Yes, how long it's open?
It's open a long time now, but we move in a year.
Yeah, I know, I want to know how long
No. You talk about Farm East Bank?
Yes.
Farm COVID garden.
No, but listen, that scheme wasn't formally opened as yet, you know. As far as I recall, the infrastructure was not completed, but persons began who got lots to move in. I don't know that housing has formally...
No. When our government take over, right? They already buy this land. And they reduce the price on it. They normally had a 50%. And they get a lot of the reduced price, but still no water.
You talk about Farm East Bank?
Yes, and Copeland Garden, the new scheme where they're going through Mopper there. That new scheme.
New scheme going through Mocha.
Is this a private development or Central Housing Plan Authority?
It's housing place. You pay money to housing.
Okay, Carla. Look, the budget of 2019 is there to address those issues. Okay? And so there is a appropriation act sent by the president of this country, and we will implement it.
Okay.
So we will be looking into your issues.
Well, look at it early because it's $5,000 for a barrel of
We're looking at the issue, but of course the opposition is stopping us to spend the money.
Okay.
Right?
Rasa, your view now.
My view...
With the water system, we will pay more for water.
Water.
Yeah.
Well, the situation in Guyana, land of many waters,
Well, that's right,
is that People have got to conserve more.
Okay.
Here why? The cost of maintenance is rising because of lots of people are leaving taps on, water running. So it's not just a matter of the service, but a reciprocal aspect from the people themselves to look after the service that is high cost, that they so value.
Okay.
People, you go to some yards, man, and they say, hey, turn off the pipe no more, we got the thing running. That's the problem.
Okay.
Conservation.
Okay.
More than that too. In Guyana right now, people are not taking seriously that government and governance is not a one-sided affair. It's a two-way street. It's a hand-wash-hand situation.
Okay.
We, the people, have a responsibility too to the services being given to us by the government.
Okay.
And if we do not cherish that service, we will always lambaste it. Brethren, 3.5 years, coalition government has done a lot to deliver better services all around.
Okay.
And that is what we've got to justify now in this run-up to the next election.
Okay.
Election coming.
Okay.
And we on the ground say, bring it on, because here why? The coalition has not yet finished its work, and it needs more time to finish its work. All we're saying, let's strengthen the coalition, let's expand the coalition, let the coalition become like a virtual people's movement.
Okay. Sankey, what's your view about what the president waters?
These people went before there.
Yes.
What is the governing body that deals with all these public utilities?
Yeah,
Public
yeah,
Utilities
that's right.
Commission.
Yes.
And if I think they went before them and made their case.
Yeah.
I know the Consumers Association also.
Yes.
There's Pat Deer always there. As
Yes,
well.
I know Pat Deer, that's
and,
right.
So I don't know how. I don't know the details here where how they allowed it to happen, but. You would think that.
But what somebody calls say they increase the price of the water bill. Water bill increase the price.
Yes.
What do you think about
I
that?
haven't received my new bill yet.
You haven't received. Do you want to try and receive? Check.
I have to check my
okay.
my box.
You pay your water bill?
Yes.
When you see me pay the water
bill? No,
bill?
there's a special. The pensioners have a different rate from the other people.
See, and it seems like even you forget about what used to transpire in this country for 23 years.
Yeah.
And you probably need to inform yourself back and inform the viewers by showing those old videotapes that you have and footage of when myself and you long before me, went out to communities and the people bawling road and water. They didn't get road and water until this government came into power. Yeah. In Sophia, they had issues with road and water, and this is Georgetown. And we give them road and water and street lights. And so we continue to roll out road and water and street lights in many communities. For the first time, seeing road, water, and street lights. So, and we appreciate that people want the facility, your Guyanese, and, the president didn't stop to Region 4 and Region 3 and Region 6, the most populated area. He's moving to the interior because he believed the residents of the interior should not be treated as stepchildren. They should have the same facility of those of us that live in Georgetown. And I mentioned to you in Madia, there are concrete drains and road and lights. And of course, a beautiful monument by the people. The people erected the monument.
What kind of monument?
There's a tongue and they put the monument. So these are things, development, and we created tongues because we said, not because you're from the interior, you must not have tongues, you must not have services that you got or you were given when you were a tongue, but you in the interior must have the same treatment.
Okay.
I think.
Go ahead.
There's a wider philosophical approach. It is like the human body. This coalition inherited corruption, ineptitude, bad planning. And in human experience, you don't correct those things overnight. A man has been eating bad food, bad habits, he goes to the doctor. He expects the new doctor to cure him the same day. Can't happen.
Okay.
And I liken that to the past few years the coalition's been in office. They've had to correct a lot. And the bigger thing is, you have to deal with attitudes. My friend Leon Saul referred to people wasting water. It's an attitude developed over the years of non-involvement, carelessness.
Okay.
That can't be corrected overnight. Okay. No way.
Attitude problem.
And this program is doing an excellent job in trying to interface with people
That's the purpose of the program.
But we need more programs like it.
Okay.
The response by Saul is the correct response. It would be my response to you. And it's because of a period of you did not pay for the thing. You believe you look, you're gonna get it, but it's very costly. When you weren't paying, you had quality. No, you're gonna get anything.
Hold on,
you're gonna get it when you want
Yeah.
it. But now
Okay.
there is quality, or assume there should be quality water at the time that you need it. So no longer you're running on the road with an empty drum and or you're pulling on something along the road and things like that. You have to pay for it. It's not cheap. It comes at a cost. And governments around the world believe if you pay for it, you appreciate it. And so, as Saul indicated, if you're going to pay for it, you're going to ensure it's not wasted. If you're going to live in North America, Europe, or United States, you're going to understand and appreciate what that means. You don't leave your top
Continue. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please.
I want to ask Jaipal.
Yes.
Poor people can't even afford to pay that water bill.
Okay.
Poor people can't afford to pay their water bill that what people get now. Everybody should come out from the street and see what they're going to do for that.
Okay.
And this is overdoing. The government overdoing.
Okay.
Government put it
That was my next point.
I got to have a protest.
My next point was that when you say these things, it will not be accepted by the people. Now, the next thing is that water now will be a reason why they're going to call into this program and to starve the people for a next reason why you should not vote for the AP and UFC. Be careful, water, you have issues, yes. The competent agency and authority will address it. But don't call this program and harp on water, because I'm sure water is not the only problem.
Okay. In fact,
And so let us go to the callers. Let the callers ask the question.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Good afternoon,
yes, good.
Minister, your son, and the panel.
Yes.
A question I have.
Yeah.
Why the opposition getting chance to do so much wrongness against the Constitution and fighting harder and saying it's right? Why the government ministers they run the Constitution good that they know where it's wrong? That's my question.
Carly, hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're here, please.
I got three things to say.
Yes.
Number one, Rastaman all we want is marijuana for legalized so they're high.
Yes.
Next thing, with Mr. Van West Charles.
Yes.
They should have relieved him of his duty along.
Why you say that?
Yeah?
Why you say that?
Because he brought discredit to the company, to the company, to himself and this country.
What he did?
What's that?
What he did? What he did?
What he did?
Yes, what he did?
Yeah, with the fuel business.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Because he underestimate, he undervalue the thing. And there's a big thing. You deprive the country of the taxes. There's a big something in a country.
What do you have to say about it? What do you have to say on that evidence? You got that? What evidence you have on that?
Why you saying that?
What evidence you have? What evidence you have on that?
Investigation, and then after that, everything, and everybody else in the coalition, they should, if they're doing that kind of thing, relieve them of the duty and get somebody else to replace them.
Thank you very much. Call you here. Hello. You're here, please.
Good afternoon to the panel.
Good afternoon.
I have a question for Jaipal.
Yes.
And one for Hampton Green.
Yes.
Jaipal, if Tarandas vote in favor of the coalition, the vote could have worked, and Hampton Green, when PNC was in power, how was gasoline in this country?
This is the right story you're talking about, man.
How was what?
Different story you're talking about.
What did you ask him?
How the country, how you get caught in this country and how you say what?
You know exactly sensible thing, yeah. Go ahead, yes.
Yes, I just want to address the previous caller, maybe this caller, but it's so many things you have to address.
Yes.
And so to the caller, and the caller is speaking about Dr. Van West Charles and how we should treat him. Look, Charandas, look what he did. For a few, maybe dollars or gold or cash rip, as the text message indicated, he apparently or allegedly sold his vote. And you know what? He sold the country. The sovereignty of this country is at stake. But I said it's treason, it's treachery, but the police is investigating it. What the commissioner of police said, he said he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yes, yes.
You want me now convict Dr. Van West Charles? He's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
You have my friend, Irfan Ali, former minister of this government, held 2 ministerial portfolio, the youngest minister, and soon to be the presidential candidate for the PVP, have 19 charges. He didn't allow the charges to go to court and defend himself in court. He stopped the court. He stopped the court from proceeding. So why are you attacking Dr. Van West Charles? Why didn't say why Irfan Ali, my good friend over there, do not step down from the race for the presidential candidate of the PAPC? Why you don't say that? Isn't that double standard?
Congressman, hello.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, yes.
Watch them number were calling and talking once that is showing this the coalition.
Yeah.
The coalition is light. PPP time is darkness. Nobody want to go back in darkness.
Okay.
And number one, they're checking for them who made this thing with youth and all that. We got trained you the right way because we killing them out. Not for them die already in the PPP time. People open the eye and watch and see what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a next presidential candidate hopeful for the PAPC. Alan Nandalal.
Yes.
Alan Nandalal also is in court for law books. You know? He's also in court for law books. Why he did not step down? You know? But he did not stop the court. The court proceeded with his own. But not my friend Irfan Ali. So the PVP presented 5 names. You look at the faces of the names and the complexion. 5 what? I put it as 1 Canadian and 5 Indo-Guyanese. Right? So 1 Canadian is Gail Teixeira, and she's disqualified, the Constitution. So why you put her in the first place? This is the former president, a man who knows the Constitution well, put up Gail Teixeira as 1 of the 5, knowing she's a failure. Now, guess what? Oh, Gail Teixeira going to step aside. And Vindi going to step aside, Dr. Vindi, a very good woman.
We said so.
You know, Dr. Vindi is the image of Mother Lakshmi. Why you didn't put her as the presidential candidate? No, she stepped aside too. So now we have 3 male in the running. 3 male in the running. Dr. Frank Anthony.
She steps aside?
As we speak, this is happening presently over there. So we have Dr. Frank Anthony, Anil Nandalal, and my friend Irfan Ali.
Frank stepped aside already too.
And now we're hearing, inside information that Frank stepped aside. So we have 2 in the race. But the 2 in the race is the ones that have charges against them in court.
Okay.
Why the 2 of them don't also step aside and let the young attorney, Charles Ramson run, you know? Why? Okay. Dr. Vindi, she should be there.
Call you on the hello. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're on here, please.
Hi, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
I'm calling concerning, yesterday I was watching the news.
Yes.
I see that they give out 300 house lots. I didn't see 1 East Indian or 1 Amerindian. I only see African there.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened to East Indian, what happened to Amerindian.
Where were these house lots allocated? Which area?
Which area?
It was on the news yesterday afternoon.
Which area? Not the news. I asked which area is that?
Which area?
I didn't remember the area, but I was watching the news and I see it, so I said that I call it.
No.
And by the way, Jaipal Sharma, I'm calling concerning. It's not African, it's not Amerindian, it's not African alone vote for the APNU. We East Indian, we vote for them too. Because I vote for them and my husband votes for them. And I can't see that we can't get the house lot until now by putting since 2010.
On what basis you say that Indians and Amerindians didn't get house lots? What is your...
I don't think we should interrogate the call because she herself do not know. So please take the call off because This is the confusion. When you call in the program, call in with facts.
Okay.
I can't address your question if you don't call in with
Well,
facts.
where she got the information from?
What the ministry did was regularize an area. Regularize means had squatters, and now you're giving them title. You're giving them a lease. You're giving them a transport. That is regularized. Now, if in that particular area they only had Afro-Guyanese been squatting, who you want to give the land to? You know, this is the stupidity that we have to deal. We have to deal with.
Hold on.
You can't.
No,
have it back.
No, you can't cut it. No, can't do that. Let him call it.
I'm making.
Hold on. Yeah, call it. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know if it's 300 in Afro-Guyanese alone, and it's not in Indian and Amerindian.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
When you speak, you cannot call it interrupt.
No, we can't. You got allow the call attack. It's a voice of people, yes.
There are 2 points, and
yes.
Jai Paul was making the first point, that if you're regularizing squatters, the agency has no control over that.
Okay.
The second interesting point about it, I've heard this argument before. I'll give 2 examples.
Okay.
Is Frank Anthony an Indian, an Afro-Guyanese, because you see his name on the list?
Okay.
What determines his ethnic?
Okay.
We've gone too long in this country.
Okay.
My wife is Basdio.
Yeah.
That makes her an Indian.
Okay.
And I can go through a lot of names like that.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so we need to be very careful. Okay. If you look at the list and see names, and mind you, Afro-Guyanese don't have Afro names. They have Anglo-Saxon names.
Okay.
Except those who changed things. Lumumba changed his name. His name was before was
Michael.
Was it
Michael something?
Okay. Yeah.
From Dartmouth.
Yeah.
From Buxton?
No.
Lumumba?
His family's from Dartmouth. His mother's from
Buxton.
Hello. Sharma, good afternoon to you and everybody in Guyana. This is George Correa.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome. Happy New Year.
Well, I don't believe in New Year. It's just a number change. It's January to December, Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
What I'm worried about is the future of our country.
Yes.
Am I on the air live? Please?
Yes, live, you're on here, live, yes.
Well, let it be known to the PPP, and I have to congratulate Barajati for saying Apnu is not competent enough. He reminds me of a woman that leaves her husband who didn't get pregnant but now wants to get pregnant again. Cannot happen. You need to use steroids, Mr. Barajatio. So that was back here. If Apnu is not competent, are you competent enough? When you marry a young woman and marry her, you should go to jail. Anil Nandalal, you also want to be president. Maybe for something else, not even sheep you will be a shepherd for. All of you, I got your numbers in your jacket. And I want you all to know, if no, give in to your nonsense, you better start. I am telling you here today, no crime you all have done for people shall go unpaid. All you members, and you're telling the workers that is who destroyed the industry. Is not Gaudi Union? Is not Gaudi Union of the sugar industry? Is not Dr. Jagan, the late was a leader? Let me try to go back to the desk and tell you what Borden do for Dr. Jagan with that meeting.
Yeah.
And it's your do not lie to the people. And Mr. Ramjatan and Agamu have history about God. That's a different story. Guyana is not going to be in the PPP.
Okay.
But all the crime you all have committed against people, you all going to answer.
Okay.
I call upon the U.S. government, consulate, Canada, England, to start, seize and deny visas all of the ministers, corrupt judges, magistrates, police,
Okay.
all who have done wrong.
Call it, thank you very much. You're breaking up again, I understand what you're saying. You're breaking up a lot, I can't understand what you're saying. God, hello.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon, yes.
Lady that called about the house lot.
Yes.
She is so lying because yesterday they had the house lot things going around by Stabrook Market.
Yes.
And they were Indians, black, Amerindians, everybody.
Okay.
She needs to get her facts right because
Okay.
she call and talk ignorant.
Okay, happy you talk answering the question.
Well, that is
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
said, CN, that is why you need to disconnect the caller, because we can't
No,
allow
no, no,
people
no,
to
no.
use
You
the
gotta-
program.
The program is advising people.
Not to spread
No,
propaganda.
no, advising people. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Not advising people to spread
Yeah,
propaganda.
yes.
We must answer them as this lady is.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Good it is panel.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
Your problem is advising people. Yes. Go ahead, please. Yes.
Related to
Yes.
Shandar and whatnot.
Yes.
With the commissioner.
Yes.
Police.
Turn the volume.
With
Yeah.
the APNU and the AFC.
Turn the volume, please. Turn your volume up, please. I can't hear you properly.
All right. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
The police commissioner.
Yes.
Right? The AFC and the APNU got to be very careful.
Yeah.
You know, they got to be very, very, very careful.
Yes.
In order to put in the position of what's not, because
Why they be careful? Why they got very careful? Why?
you know, the reaction of certain people, like, you know,
Okay.
like they're in favor of other people.
Okay.
This man go against his country, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, go. I know you the commissioner thing, but
Okay.
you gotta talk positive.
Okay then.
You know, you the commissioner of the police.
Okay.
You gotta talk
Okay.
positive things. You understand?
Okay.
If the man do a crime, I mean, is the commissioner, yes.
Okay.
Thing that they
Okay.
investigate. But when some questions, you know, some questions, ask, you know.
Carl, go ahead and hear you.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
And I must congratulate the panel.
Yes.
My contribution is that we Guyanese people have shallow memories.
Yeah.
23 years, the PP was in power. We, the Guyanese people, suffer a lot. And now, Mr. Jagg, you come in and easy see if he could do this and do that. Jagg, you have a field record, and you have to live and die by it.
Okay.
That's my contribution. Thank you.
Is that Jack Joe running for the presidential candidate for PVC, you know? Yes, he will using the person who will be the presidential candidate, presidential hopeful as a puppet. And he's the puppet master. But it's not, he is the individual, the face will be there as the presidential candidate for the PVP.
Okay.
So we know he did a lot of wrong things and bad things even to Vashni and so, and his credibility is questioned and many things is questioned about him. But it's not he's the person you have to go after.
Okay.
But the operation of the PVPC in 23 years. So let us speak about what they did in 23 years.
I would like to comment on the caller before the last.
Okay.
About the Commissioner of Police.
Yes.
First of all, I think we have a very good commissioner.
Okay.
Secondly, the Commissioner of Police need to be given the resources.
Okay.
I've been in this business for years.
Yeah, that's right.
In the old days, there's nowhere that Charam Das could have moved that motion, gone to the Canadian High Commission, breached the rules at Eugene Coraya's airport, left this country with a Canadian diplomat and two strange characters, that's all I would say, not calling names.
Okay. I'll go with you then.
And without being apprehended.
Okay.
It means that what I know happened in 1986 when Hoyt attempted to dismantle the special branch.
Yeah.
He and I fell out about it. The British, the Chinese, the Americans, the Canadians, everybody spent substantial amounts on what they call FBI, CIA, special branch, what have you. Those institutions are meant to preserve the integrity of the state against saboteurs, traitors, etc.
Okay.
When Hoyt dismantled an excellent special branch that Burnham left, what we suffer from is and the people didn't know how to repair it. And I won't tell them.
Okay.
And I hope that this government, based on what Ramtatan says, gives the Commissioner of Police the tools and the resources so that what happened in Parliament on the 21st of December should not happen. The minute he moved that motion, instead of Ramtatan asking him to give him police protection, he should be under surveillance. That is not undemocratic. And the fact that a foreign diplomat was able inappropriately to breach the gate at Ogle is a serious matter. And he went with two known characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Whose name you know?
Yeah, I know them.
With criminal connections.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That's right. That's true.
And the commissioner of police must ask for the resources. And there are people in the system who can help him to ramp up the special branch. I won't call names. Most of them are dead, but some still alive.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to say this is a comedy. What happened there in 24 is
comedy, yes.
It's a comedy of errors. Comedy of errors. That is the only way I could have put it. So, however, what is good is this commissioner here is from the special branch, right?
Yeah.
He's from the special branch.
Yeah, but
so that may be a good thing. So, what happened in comedy of errors? I don't need to go back, but let's just look at the night itself, as they want to see the fateful night. And even the AFC chairman, Comrade Ramjitan, Minister of Public Security, Honorable Minister, said he was blindsided.
When you say blindsided, you know, wasn't seen?
Yes, the man blindsided. the man put a blindfold over his eyes. So he was blindsided by the man's loyalty and love, because even his debate, the man congratulated him and said, you put licks on Jack Dio. You put licks in the PvP. He's a licks man. You like share licks.
Yeah.
So he was so overjoyed that he was being commended by Charandas, and so he said he was blindsided there. So you congratulated the man for a good debate. Hear what he said further. He said, why you didn't put my name in the list to speak? Yeah. He said, why you didn't put my... Remember, they only selected a certain amount of members of parliament from both sides to speak. Yeah. He was saying, why you didn't put me to speak? I would have felt licks. Right? Now, I was blindsided. When the vote going to be taken out, then you had these comedy errors. The man voted. First of all, he voted using the wrong name. His name was called as C. Prasad. The man is Charandas Prasad. He used they used the initial and the surname, right? C. Prasad. Technically, I could object if he had took the vote with C. Prasad. I consider he voted Kong because that is not his full name.
How about you did that?
They corrected and...
Why you did that?
I'm sitting a very long distance away from you. I can't intervene.
But who do you put down?
I can't intervene in anything. So that's one. So he answered yes to C. Prasad. Then man called his name back again. C. Prasad. He's not answering. So the speaker said, hey, you calling the man right name? They call him Charandas Prasad. There is when he said yes. Good. Took the man, now the vote is taken. The speaker say 33, 32, 33, 1. Good.
Yeah.
And the man is exiting out. When he exiting out, the leader of the opposition, Dr. Barjaglio, tell the vice president, Minister of Public Security, you got to protect this man. So, you got to protect him. Now, the Minister of Public Security arranging protection. The Commissioner of Police calling him and said, protect this man, because somebody might want to do harm. So, good. The arranging a vehicle. The man's supposed to be escorted out with a police vehicle. The man skipped through with some of the PPP member of parliament, asking the member of parliament where you want me to go. I mean, they had to discuss this thing, where you're going. Now they had a vehicle outside there that was illegally parked in the Parliament building, and I believe it had to be well armed, right? The vehicle was asked to put outside because it was suspicious. The person that drove the vehicle in is a person that it may be the presidential candidate for the PVP.
Okay.
That's much I can tell you.
Okay.
So the atmosphere was very tense. Now, when the Minister of Public Security was briefing us, he said that the acts of protection for the man. They told blindside the minister again and said the man going.
So when they get blind?
The man is going to Mary.
And he go
So he going on now. Now this Canadian person now. Here, I'm a minister.
Okay.
I have a pass to the airport, the Cherijaga International Airport. This pass will only allow me in the lounge. My protocol officer have to get a letter from Foreign Affairs to carry my passport through the system, and then they'll take me out to the aircraft. Now, this Canadian person, that airport's supposed to function just like Eugene Karai Airport, right? This Canadian person now, going with his pass like what I have for that airport, and he allowed to do protocol duty, he have to have a letter for Foreign Affairs. That is only allow him to use the lounge. He can't go anywhere, he can't go immigration, he can't go custom, and even more worse, he can't go on the tarmac. Added to this insult to injury, we had one Peter who carried his ID card, his Guyana ID card, tell people, I want to pass through. What nonsense is this? You could believe anything like that? So it means, as a minister, why they give me this card? Why I have to go as a minister and get a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs when you could use the ID card and get this special treatment?
Breach of protocol.
Why is Charandas asking an individual by name Peter to give him protection if he know Peter can't offer him that protection? Peter must be a bulletproof man. That is suspicious. Tell me who is Peter and what is his clout that Charandas go to him and say, protect me, Peter, protect me, Peter. You know what you say in there is Peter, whoever he is, had to be so powerful that just by walking next to Charandas, you couldn't touch him, you couldn't assassinate him. That is what he said. He said he protected Charandas because he was fearful. Peter said he was fearful he'll be assassinated like
Crummy Wing.
Not Crummy Wing. Like Walter Randall. So how is this man walking next to you will give you this protection if this man don't have firepower? So this man probably had snipers somewhere stationed all over the place that are going to ensure that he protect the man. So it's a comedy of error. So you know, these are the things.
Okay, let me get some dividing people now. Dividing people.
All I can say.
Okay, let me hear.
That could not happen.
Yeah.
In Borden time.
Yeah, Borden.
In my time.
Oh,
your time. Yeah. Yes.
Call your name. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Is what happened to Mr. Durga, man?
I don't want your Durga. You're not in the program right now. Please. Call. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Hello.
You can hear me?
Hello. Hello.
So what was this?
You go ahead.
We are in dangerous times.
Yes.
Dangerous
Good
times.
afternoon, everybody.
Yes. Hold on. Good afternoon, please.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes. Good afternoon. Yes.
You know, Jack Paul just gave an illustration
what?
What's truly wrong with this country.
What?
And you know the number one problem with this country is too much lawlessness in this country. Everybody just does the law like there's not even no law.
Okay.
You know, and I'm tell you something. When I voted for the Justice for All Party. And for all those who are AFC or people that don't feel like voting or is frustrated that used to vote for AFC, I think it's time y'all turn and vote for the Justice for All Party. The reason why I say this, you need to know what that Guy Paul said earlier too, Mr. Sharma. You have a history of recording of the things that you fought to kill people for every Guyanese. And I'm telling you, us Guyanese are people, we are not, some of us are not too smart, you know, because I'm going to tell you, if there's a man down out there, you cannot be you,
I think your call is breaking up. I can't hear clearly.
Okay, so this is my VIP card for the International Airport.
Yes.
This was signed by the Director General. This can only allow me in the lounge. This I can't go anywhere else with this. You could look at it. Pass it around so they can see what it looks like. Even as a minister, I have to go through. They have their own machine where they scan you. So I don't walk through without being scanned. So we have all this security arrangement. So if I should go to Eugene Karai Airport, I will have to go with a protocol officer from Foreign Affairs who will have to accompany me because they didn't issue me this card. Okay? So this thing is high security. How at that day the security protocol was not observed?
Collusion and
Call it. Hello.
Hello, CN. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon to you, Minister.
Yes.
And Mr. Green.
Yes.
And others.
That's right.
CN, I'm really disappointed in you.
Yes.
Because on Tuesday, it was so embarrassing.
Yes.
Mr. Rahman does not have no decorum. Imagine he carrying on public television and argue with a minister on program. And Mr. Sandy, I'm surprised at you.
What did I do?
had you in a high esteem.
What did I do?
No, no, speak, Reverend. Go ahead, please. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. No, no. Go ahead and speak. Go ahead and speak. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Sandy, I'm surprised at you. You sat there and joined in with Mr. Dorgo against that minister. Every Saturday or when he could do it, he comes and sit and inform the public. And UCN did not say anything to bring closure to whatever Rahman and Dorgo was saying. You must remember when Minister was in Parliament as an MP, when Priya Manichan made the regulatory remarks
that's
about you,
yes, yes.
that minister got up and resigned when she refused to apologize. Come on, if you need to have people, just how Rahman the Stark and these people meeting him on the street, people talking about what they're getting on with on the program.
Okay.
And you need to be more sensitive.
Okay.
That minister to his your son
Yeah.
is from your party.
Yeah. Thank you very
I
much.
am really, really
Disappointed in.
Mr. Green would not have done that.
Thank you very much. Sango, like what you want to say? Let me hear.
That she didn't mention what were the issues.
You
As
know,
I
you
said,
know
no.
the issue. Yes.
Durga brought up the question of a modular refinery in Guyana and said that when he attended the seminar where the youth were...
Youth policy desk.
The guy in charge, Dr. Baino had said that there would be no subsidy. I think there was something... But he said they were not asking for subsidized... They're willing, he has a consortium of people to invest, and that is what
I don't think we should go back to East. I said he was not invited in that capacity to discuss refinery, his refinery.
Yeah.
So he was interrupting the program the people said.
It's interloper.
So I ask you,
what is your view?
Tell me who was invited.
Let me know what is your view. Let me hear.
It was an inappropriate intrusion.
Okay.
And he ought not to be entertained.
Okay.
He has a right at other opportunities, at other forums, to raise these issues.
Okay. Cardi, hello? Hello?
Hello, good day, Mr. Sharma.
Good day.
I appreciate your program very much.
Yes.
But when Mr. Jai Paul is on the program, he is not your son. He is my minister. And I hope he'll be respected in that matter.
Yes.
Please, the president open those cards who talk nonsense.
Yes.
In connection with that housing thing, I didn't know about it.
Okay.
And I went down there and I saw it.
Okay.
And I understood. Everybody was there, not only Afro guys that the woman was saying. And what the person said, it will go to each area. From Stabrook Market, they have moved to some other area.
Yeah.
I applied for a house last 2000.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting.
Okay.
So please respect my minister.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello?
And don't scold your son.
Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
You on the panel? Welcome back, Mr. Green.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
In connection with the conference that Mr. Doga and Mr. Rahman went to, right, you got to understand that they were entered by Mr. Bino to hear their question, regardless if they were youth or not. He entertained them.
Okay.
And they shared their view because normally you don't get that kind of atmosphere to present. The government don't hold those things to the ordinary people. And those men find it wise to fit in there because they had the opportunity. You don't be given opportunity to fit in otherwise.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I disagree with Mr. Jai Paul.
Wait, you were there with them too?
Pardon me?
You were there with them too?
No, I wasn't there.
The information,
let me finish, please.
Caller, the information they're requesting is not information you share at that forum and that level. Okay?
All right.
Understand that.
In connection to what you said about the dual citizenship, that if this matter is determined in court for or against, those other parliamentarians would have to take the matter, somebody would have to take them to court. I disagree with you. If this is determined lawfully by the
you misinterpret
No,
me.
hold on. Let me keep point, please.
It's a law now.
Yes.
So it's straight back on all those who are. So they don't have to go to court. That is what we're trying to see in the court right now.
Okay. Jabla, make your point now.
The column misinterpret. See,
Make your point, man. Yes.
What he's trying to say here is not what the caller question to me was. The caller question to me was, if we say Charandas is not qualified to sit in the assembly and his vote is not taken, the caller question to me was, if we going to put the same application to the others. I said a person may have to challenge the others. We only addressing one issue.
That is the law. That's the
okay.
But now after it is ruled, I think it is said somewhere by the AP and AFC, and if the ruling of the court is so, well then going forward, that will be paramount.
Okay.
The issue which we have to address, and candidates will have to prove the allegiance by maybe due diligence by the political party or the caller taking a public oath.
Mr. Gomez, you can respond.
Well, Jai Paul is right. If the court rules against the manner in which Chamdas voted, well, then there's sufficient people in Guyana to challenge John, Mary, Smith, Ramber, and anybody on the grounds that there's precedent in the court, and it can be challenged either by a group or individual before the very court. That is how it happens. You know. Of course, such a step will create a crisis, and the two parties will have to decide how to deal with it.
Call in here. Hello.
Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
You know, this man, Mr. Jagdeo, he's so obsessed with his government resigning.
Why?
And I want to know why Mr. Jagdeo is behaving in such a manner. This government got to resign on the whole thing and do this and do that. And we got a constitution, we got a duly elected government and in place, and we got a budget passed in the year. We got a good G come to do the house registration and all these things. Mr. Jagdeo want these people that voted 2015. They got some children turn 18. They got people die. Why Mr. Jagdeo so obsessed and he don't want to go through this and go through that? This thing fishy.
So you can get that announcement.
All right, let me just break down what this scholar says. Let me break it down, because it's very important to break it down. My experience from the Elections Commission has been a senior manager. Now, as I indicated on the Tuesday program, when I was interrupted and remarked thrown to me, what I was trying to say is to say this. The election is not easily determined. The date of election is not easily determined. The president shall indicate when such date is set. Okay? But how the president knows the date? He has to be informed by the Elections Commission. This is the chairman and the sixth commissioner. They have to say to him that they're comfortable, they could do it. If they don't give him a correct date at a time and say they're comfortable, next step, if they give him a wrong date, assume they give him a wrong date. You know what the president will do? He will take the advice and he's going to go and dissolve the parliament. The Constitution says any election shall be held within 3 months of the parliament being dissolved. That's the Constitution. So once they indicate to the president that they're ready, and assume that they're not, we be in problem, because if the president only issue the proclamation to dissolve the parliament, what's going to happen if the election can't be held? So you have to be careful. So GCOM, this is the chairman and commissioner, both representative from the government side and the opposition side, is sitting there, and they shall tell the president, David Arthur Granger, when is the appropriate date. Now let me tell you this. When we was going with the confidence against President Ramatar, the Elections Commission was called in by the President, Lanchan, and he asked them, how long it will take you to prepare for a snap election? They told him 6 months, and he accepted it. Now, Jack Dio know that. At a press conference, Jack Dio confessed and said he always was at a level of cabinet, as if not as a minister of cabinet. When he came off, he was still sitting in cabinet as an advisor. He had to know that GCOM indicated they want 6 months. Okay. So now, we're in a situation where there's a list, because there was amendments to the act, which say the list supposed to have a life of 3 months. There was an amendment to the act which said the list have a life of 6 months. But GCOM wasn't fearful with that amendment, because GCOM have a process where they continually update the National Register of Registrants. This is a database with young people 14 years and above. So there was a concern about that. But with the illness of the chairman, they didn't have what they call the continuous registration exercise. They had budgeted for a house-to-house registration exercise. Now, their law states that you need to have a new registrant, a new house-to-house. You have to update the list.
Before an election.
Not before an election. There's a period people age. A 14-year-old, when you take out this photograph, 7 years from now, he doesn't look the same.
Okay, right.
So, happens a photo ID. So, every so often, 7 years, they will update the register by having a house-to-house registration. This was the time. They wanted it since last year. We said, you got it this year. Jack Dio and all the MP agree for the house-to-house. $3.4 billion set aside for that. Now, I don't know, GCOM is a constitutional agency established by the Constitution. The president or nobody can't dictate to them. Like we can't dictate to the DPP, we can't dictate to the National Assembly, we can't dictate to the courts. We can't dictate to GCOM. I don't know if GCOM, remember they have commissioners from opposition, from the government. If collectively the people say we want house to house, have a clean list, Jack Dio can't go against your own commissioner. Okay? Good. Now, this is what basically he's doing, because he wants to stick to the Constitution and push them to run for election within the constitutional periods established by Article 1066 and 7, which state 3 months. Now, this is the fear. According to what the caller just now said, when they prepared that list for the local government election, that process of the list creation was done between May and July of 2018. You hear me? May and July of 2018. When you're going to now ask person to register, put the name onto the National Register, you have to have a qualifying date. You know what's the qualifying date? The qualifying date was the 31st of October 2018. It's important from what this college is saying, because now that list only have persons that will be 18, right? On 31st of October 2018. What happened then to now? All those people who is now 18.
Disenfranchised.
Disenfranchised. Now, if you hold the election and of course the APU, AFC win, Jack Dio can go back to court and say, here, we win because the list was in your favor. So we can't, I believe as a politician, give the opposition excuse to when we spend our next $6 billion for holding an election, go back and challenge the results. Remember he challenged the last one in 2015. Why, if when he loses again, he wouldn't challenge it again? When are we going to establish shenanigans and wasting taxpayers' money? When? So GCOM is all on them. Now, this same PPP government objected to the hiring practice of GCOM.
Right.
You know what they said? The hiring share Afro-Guyanese. Indo-Guyanese and get an opportunity to be hired. Now, guess what? GCOM is a skeleton. It doesn't have the staff support to run and prepare for the election. This report demanded to the Ethnic Relations Commission. What did the Ethnic Relations Commission say? Oh, if I recall clearly, you know what they say? We're going to hire some retired police and let them do a proper investigation, give us a report, and then we're going to deal with it. So you didn't resolve the employment issue, but you want the election within 3 months. How are you going to run election? Election day, there's over 10,000 persons employed. Election day. In preparation for election, there's additional people employed and trained.
Got to be paid.
Of course, unpaid. So the issue is not about money. The issue is about spending the money, and then you're going to challenge the result. So let us go it the right way. Let GCOM say if they're comfortable or not. And so this is my position as a Justice for our party representative. And the caller was absolutely right. People will be disenfranchised. Now, it's not Jagdeo going to challenge the election when he loses. One of those people who didn't get a name on the list going to challenge the election. Anybody could challenge the election. The Constitution said the only way you could put your name on the list is through the registration process. And if you deny the registration process, you deny them, they have a valid reason to question the elections results.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yes.
So glad I get you. I would like you to hear me out, please. I want to agree with Jagdeo by telling the president down. The reason why I'm saying this, because Anand Nandalal has been charged. And he went to court and was placed on his own bail and walked out of court. Jennifer Westford has been charged. She went on cash bail and she won her case. Infanali has been charged 19 indictable charges and he walked out of the court very freely without a cent bail. I think to myself, if Ann McClellan had put these people on bail like any other criminal because of criminal charges, and put them on bail who don't have the money to get bail at prison, I think time like now things would have been far different, because when Jennifer Westwood was charged, things was kind of a little decent. But since these things start happening, that they're walking out the court, they're getting it and behaving, I don't know why they're behaving like that. I want to know if Anand McClellan is a PVP woman. I went to school in the ABC and I think I would have done far better than that. These people ought to be faced the facts like any other criminal, like the man in the streets is hungry and he going to steal something and they put him on a whole set of bail. The man just got a little piece of split. They put him in jail on all of that. What happened to these guys? Who are them? They're not lords. They committed an offense and they ought to be treated like anybody else.
Thank you
You
very
see,
much.
you cannot question the court. They're independent. And that is what I'm speaking about. They're like GCOM. Okay, you can't question
what
it.
you say?
So I cannot question the learned chief magistrate, any magistrate, matter of fact, or a judge.
That is why Anand Allah could have said that they're incompetent. I want to agree with him again.
There is a doctrine of separation of power, and we cannot interfere.
Even
These people ought to face the facts like any other criminal.
Someone was telling this story over the jury there. This person went for murder trial, and the jury said he's guilty. The family of the guy wanted to beat up the people that were on the jury. So I don't know what's happening in this country. You know what I'm saying? The jury said this man is guilty. Right? And they were looking for them after the thing to beat them up. It's very serious situation. They need protection. These people should need protection so they can board whatever vehicles they have and go along their way.
Call you need. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
I'm very happy to get you this afternoon.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to turn on.
Okay. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
My contribution is,
Yes.
in terms of the dual citizenship,
Yes.
I think whether or not, whatever the court decides, right, the Constitution already states one thing, and all ministers of government and opposition with dual citizenship should either give up or resign, because that is in the Constitution. And by they not doing that, everybody's going to take their eyes as part of the Constitution. That's my contribution.
It's a 2/3 majority can change the Constitution.
No, not in all cases. The Constitution could change at 3 levels. It all depends if it's unprotected or ordinary article. If it's a protected article, you get 2/3. And there's 10 articles in the Constitution that need a referendum.
Hello?
Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon.
Chairman.
Yes.
The information at August, the Karamda, whoever, they break the rules there. Okay? And the 23 and the 28 year people talking about they got to come off and keep this country going. 28 and 23, they're done.
keep this thing going. Mr. Shampy, this country keep going. And Mr. Hamilton, we say if it's Burnham government, that it can happen. You're right, because Walter Rodney did and Vincent Tiga did have the visual answer for them things there.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Griffith, you review.
Well, the comedian who just spoke
yes,
is regurgitating an old propaganda position.
Yeah.
The serious matter is, I've addressed it already, it ought not have happened.
Yeah.
What bothers me in all of our conversation today, and I've put pen to paper, is that when the two leaders met last week, I believe a vital issue was not properly addressed.
Yeah.
The president raised it. We are threatened on the western side by Venezuela.
Okay.
Every Guyanese, every political party, every social group should be mobilized to fight a common enemy.
Okay.
It's a serious matter. They have made a mess of their oil. They now want to use force. And remember, an F-16 from a certain country just flew in there.
Yeah.
And we need to take it seriously. And remember that exactly 50 years ago, the very Venezuelans supported the Hearts and the Melvilles in the Rupununi uprising, January 1969, 50 years ago.
Today?
50
years today.
Well, it's January. We must learn from our history. I've sent a note out saying that we have to learn. I grew up in a fenced yard in Charlestown. We had dogs always fighting among themselves. The day the gate was left open and a strange dog came in, one day they left him helpless, they killed him. We're at that stage, an enemy is at our door, and we're talking about elections and constitution. And I hope that this program, and I've written to two leaders about it, should concentrate on saving our patrimony first. If you don't have anything to fight for, you can't fight. Those Venezuelans want our oil, they want the whole Northwest. If we sit down and allow this internal matter to be supreme, they're not fools, and Maduro is desperate. When he sends his emissaries here, he listens to this program, looks at the paper. Nobody talking about the Venezuelan incursion, a more serious matter.
That's very serious.
He would conclude, they don't care, let us go ahead. And we have got to tell our people, this is the issue. In my letter, I suggested some National Front government to hold the situation based on the challenge we face from Venezuela.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a serious matter.
Yes,
Very serious.
I was present 50 years ago when the Hearts and the Melville said they were not prepared to be ruled by the son of a slave. What the Venezuelans are saying, they're not prepared to be ruled by the son of a slave or indentured labor. That's what they're saying. This resource must not go to those people. They're inferior to us. It's a serious matter.
Very serious matter. We need to take a stand on it.
Calling you, hello.
Yes, good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
And good afternoon to your panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
God bless you, Mr. Green.
Thank you. I need it.
God bless you, Sharma, both Sharmas,
Yes.
Minister Taipal,
Yeah.
CN and others.
Yes.
We all are believers. Whatever blanket we are surfing under, we all are believers. And if we keep praying and talking to our almighty supreme being that controls us, things will go the way it's supposed to go. Don't be afraid. The word says, no weapon formed against us shall ever prosper.
Amen.
And no weapon formed against the government and Guyana will ever prosper. All what is going on, don't study Jack Dio. God have Jack Dio in his hands. God will do the things that he set out to do, and we all will leave surprised. Man hand wouldn't do anything to them. This country is a blessed country and a prosperous country. And if it thinks that it's being prospered in this country, they are getting Holani over it.
Okay.
But God is in charge of this
God
country.
is in charge, yes, right.
And because he is in charge of this country, nothing they can reverse what God has already done in 2015.
Okay.
They can't reverse it. Don't care what transpired, they cannot take over Guyana. Guyana belongs to God.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call you, please.
Yes, good afternoon,
Yes.
Mr. Sharma.
Yes?
Mr. Green.
Sir.
Exxon doesn't want us to have it either, you know.
If
The
what?
kind of contract that they sign, we hear the same thing what is we think told those Amerindians that about Africans. It's the same people. And the people who they right now, Maduro and them, they represent the poor people. Them have no oil money to get. They never had none before. Not until Chavez come to get a little bit. And anytime they change, the poor people over there have nothing to get. They go back living on the hills, in the little shanties who have been living outside of Caracas. I have it on video as to how many poor people there. So we got to know where this battle is. When we were intelligent and was not aligned, we were fighting an international battle. Now we join the same enemies with the earth, joining them as if the earth will never get better by joining them. It will get worse because the same people do not represent African people any part of the sort, and that's why we at the bottom. And as long as we are not an African people, as long as we join them, we cannot be African people because we got no ourselves.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You think first that Exxon doesn't want us to.
Yeah, what time is more to go on here, live on program?
I think
Yeah.
Chavez was clearly a man of the people and represented the ordinary people. Maduro has a problem, both internal and external. And a man who's desperate and can get help from certain international agencies and countries will do anything. I mentioned it before. When you see F-16s flying into Venezuela, and it's not a coincidence that Charamdas' vote came on the heels of the sable rattling by Venezuela. I suspect there's a hidden evil hand behind December 21st. And time will tell. Time will tell.
Okay. Rasta, your closing remarks, please.
Well, my closing remarks will center around the fact that the people of Guyana, the ordinary people of Guyana, are watching very closely a lot of developments. And right now, we are saying that we need stability, we need security, and we need a thriving economy. So we, the people at the roots, are saying we will hold